Hi, I'm Ricky Alexander.
And I'm Matt Farrell.
Welcome to the Back Porch, Season 3.
Today we have Hannah Gill. She's a wonderful singer from the Turtle Bay family and tours the world with many different swing bands and Postmodern Jukebox Company XIV, and she's a great album on Turtle Bay Records. So we'll talk about all of that today. What I think is really cool and interesting about you is that you do, obviously you kill the jazz swing stuff and you love that stuff. But you also do original music and you do a lot of interesting other things. And you also started performing and making music very young. Like
Yes.
You came out here at 18. One thing I've always wondered about you is like, it's like chicken before the egg, which came first? Were you like first inspired in high school to do original music and that's what brought you here? When you went to jazz right away, like where's your original?
Yeah, where it came from.
Yeah. What was the first thing that started brewing in you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always loved singing, loved performing. You know, I was very annoying in middle school because of how much I loved to do it, you know. So I transferred schools in 8th grade. And when I transferred to my new school, there was this talent show. And I didn't know anybody, but I was like, let me just do a talent show and see what happens. And I ended up winning the talent show. And so my dad was like super proud. He's like, look at my daughter. And one of the guys basically offered, he was like, hey, you know, my son has a recording studio up in New York. Like, what do you think about her going up for her 16th birthday and just recording a couple cover tunes so she knows like how it feels to be in a studio? So we waited until my 16th birthday, came up and recorded 2 cover songs and saw Ben Howard and Michael Kiwanuka in Central Park. So it was a good day. But basically after that, the guy who owned the studio, Brad Hammonds, asked me to come back up and sing some of his music. And so then that kind of started this process of me coming up from Maryland to do shows at like 5 p.m. on a Tuesday at Rockwood Music Hall, you know, and I slowly started writing my own music as well. And it kind of turned into like a catalog of my songs. And so then when it came time to graduate, I ended up choosing to defer a year from high school and move to New York and just try and make it with the original music. And in that process, I discovered swing dancing completely randomly.
So
Like,
it's swing dancing that came first,
Yes.
and then singing jazz.
yeah, like I went on a date with this guy and he just happened to be a swing dancer and he took me to go to a class and I was like, that's it. This is what I want to do.
Cool.
And I wasn't 21, so I couldn't go to any bars. So I started dancing and that's how I met a lot of like the kind of community and then started seeing people perform, you know, and I was like, oh, I want to get into that as well.
Are you writing again now? Are you feeling like you want to
Yeah.
go back in the original a little bit? Or
Yeah, well, I've always been writing. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. I have like 30 unreleased tunes, but I'm in the situation where since my job is also creating music, making music to pay rent, you know, as well as something that I enjoy, the concept of dropping, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 on an original album that, you know, would be amazing to put out, but it's like the sort of thing where the funds would need to be acquired. So it's just like,
I know.
it's one of those things. But I will say this year, I kind of wanted to set that kind of goal for myself to get back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's also, there's something to be said too about the luxury of being a sideman in a way, you know, and I've got a lot of anxiety as a person. And I think that it got to a point with my original music where it was just very anxiety inducing to be like, this is my show. I hope that people come out. Like, I hope I can put it together, you know, and like everything.
Especially in this city.
Yeah, but then if I can go and play for like swing dancers and I know the room's full, I know that I can do a good job, I can execute it well, you know. So I was really kind of sitting in that nice like security for a little while. And now I'm like, you know what? I think I do want to put something out. You know, even if like 20 people listen, like it's more so for me than others, you know.
Do I want you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I, honey? Oh, did I do? I'm glad that I'm the one that found you. That's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh, my, do I, honey? Oh, did I do? That's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? Oh honey, do I love you, honey? Indeed I do.
What I want to know about now is you've been through quite a journey in 10 years. You started with original music, then you're doing swing dance music, then you're doing videos and big stages with postmodern jukebox, then you're doing company XIV. What I wonder about is, what do you think you gather from each one of those? Like, can you describe maybe what you think added from each little place you've been to what you are now?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's a good question. Well, I think, the beginning of it all with my original music, I think that was just the baseline of learning, what it's like to perform not in like a high school theater, like got to know what it was like to be on stage, and also got to feel what it feels like to have more musicians on stage than like there are people in the audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like have to be like, it's okay. Like the world's not over. Like sometimes this happens, like that kind of important thing. And then, when I started getting into the jazz scene, I remember Glenn Kreitzer helped me a lot. He's the closest thing in my mind that I had to like schooling for jazz. Because in the very beginning, he was like, I like your voice, and I would love for you to sing in my big band, but, everything needs to be sang as written. And so he like sat me down and took my tune list from like 15 songs to like 80 songs and showed me how to, like, he'd be like, sing them their eyes. And I go, I fell in love with you. That's wrong. Let's look at the original sheet music and go, I fell in for hours. But it was what I needed. Like that to me is my intro into the swing world, was like working with his big band and my own big band or my own band. And so down the line, postmodern jukebox was like out of this world, because I was 19 when I started working with them, and my first tour was Australia, New Zealand. We played the Sydney Opera House. It was sold out, so I think with them, I learned two big things, which was what it feels like to perform in front of a huge crowd, and know that like stage fright is not a thing that you can have, and also I think I gained a lot of my endurance working with them, because there'd be a lot of times where you'd have, 5 to 8 shows in a row with no days off. So I had to learn, how to use my voice properly and how to budget, time and energy, because it's like our body is our instrument. Like if I stay out all night
until 4 a.m., which I do many a night, especially
like exactly, yeah. Like I need to know my own limits and how to kind of work within those limits. And I think that that's something that people can give you pointers. You can talk to the vocal coaches and they can tell you ways to kind of try and save your voice. But I think that ultimately you need to feel like internally what it is for you. It's not just something you can read from a book and say, all right, I got it. I'll never hurt my voice now. And then I guess, like I'm thinking chronologically now, and like around the time that I was working with them, that's also when I met Gordon Webster. And I tour with him constantly, doing shows for Lindy Hop like events and stuff, and that's where that endurance was able to come in and help. And after the pandemic, I found Company XIV. The first time that they did Seven Sins, I went to their friends and family night on Valentine's Day 2020, went and saw it. It was like, how do I get into this? Because my favorite movies growing up, it was like Moulin Rouge or like
so
Romeo,
bad.
Anything like Baz Luhrmann that's just like absurdly opulent. I'm like, I love it, And so it's amazing to feel really like beautiful and feminine and covered in like diamonds and corsets and like stuff that it's never something I envision myself walking down the street in, but like to have that is kind of like a new like power to access, which I thought was really cool. So it's just each little thing, there's a different little nugget of wisdom or like knowledge to be learned.
Yeah.
Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you, so lucky to be the one you ran to see that evening when the day is through. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. Oh, and time after time, you hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you. Oh, time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one you ran to see that evening when the day is through. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. Oh, and time after time, you hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be loving you.